This video sponsored by Meeple Movers. No minimum order, no subscriptions. Free shipping on every item, every day. At meeplemovers.com.
Hello and welcome to Brian's Got a Game. I'm Brian. Today I've got a game called the Grimm Forest. The Grimm Forest is a 2 to 4 player simultaneous action selection set collection game by Tim Eisner and published by Druid City Games. In this game, players are pigs trying to be the first to build 3 houses. In order to build them, you need resources, and you get resources by going to various locations. The catch is you select where you want to go in secret and then reveal. If more than one player picks the same location, they have to share the resources. To make things interesting, there are tons of fairy tale friends and fables in the game. Characters like the big bad wolf, the giant, and the dragon will block your opponents, and friends such as Robin Hood, Cinderella, and the Golden Goose will help out. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to get resources, how to use fable cards, and how to be the first to build 3 houses in the Grimm Forest. To set up, place the 3 gather location boards in the center of the table. In a 4-player game, you would add the market board, which is 1 of each type, where that's 3 brick, 4 wood, 5 straw, but we're going to leave it here, and we're going to play a 4-player game. Then you're going to take all of the resources and put them next to their respective boards to form the supply. So we've got the normal resources and the mega resources, which are really just 5 of the normal ones. Then you do that for all the others. One side note, I said the mega resources are 5. It's not. It's the maximum that go there. So that one's a 5, this one's a 4, and that one's a 3. Sorry. So I'm going to put the megas on there, and then 1 of each goes on the market board. Then you're going to place the first builder bonuses at the bottom. I'll talk about those later. Then you're going to make a supply of the floor, walls, and roof pieces for each respective resource type. So you're going to have floor, walls, and a roof, and then all put together in a super cool house. So you'd normally put them all out here, but we don't have a ton of table space, so I'll put out 1 fully built house, and then extras, 1 of each out also. Okay, then you're going to shuffle the you're going to give each player all their gather cards and their play rates. I'll do that in a minute. You also shuffle all of the fable cards together here. They're all the fable cards. You're going to shuffle them and then put them next to the market boards. And then you're also going to shuffle all the friend cards together. And put those next to the market boards. Okay, next you would put all the monster minis out to display them. So I am actually going to put them all out right here. Put those there, and then of course the big bad wolf himself. So then we're going to set up the players. So each player is going to get their player board. So you're going to give each player their 4 gather cards. In a 3 or less player game, you'd only give them 3. You wouldn't give them the gather market card. So each player gets all those cards, and then they each get a play rate. Then you're going to give each player their pig mini. So we're going to pass those around. And then you give the start player token to the player who last ate bacon. You are now ready to begin. Alright, so this game is split up into 3 phases. The gather phase, the build phase, and the cleanup phase. It's actually pretty simple. Alright, so the first round is the gather phase. So you're going to start by choosing your gather card. So each player is going to choose what resource place they're going to go to. So everybody's going to pick one and then set it out in front of them. Okay. And then on the count of 3, everybody reveals. And then they all put their figure on that space. Then you're going to resolve each place. So start with fields. Nobody went to the fields, so we're going to ignore that one for now. Then the forest. So if there's 2 or more people there, then you have to divide the resources equally. So this is a 4, so each person gets 2. Now if there's an odd number there, then you'd split equally and leave the extra one there. So purple gets 2 and yellow gets 2. Alright, here blue gets the bricks, and then here green gets 1 of each. Okay, so Next is the build phase. So we're just going to start by each player picking up their gather card and then setting their cards aside. So next is the gather phase. The start player goes first. So that is this player because they have the start player token. Sorry, this is the build phase. It's the second phase. So starting with the player with the first player token, you're going to take 2 of 4 actions. So the first action is you can build a house section. So using the resources you have, you can build a house section according to this graph right here, in this chart. So a floor section costs 2 of a resource, a wall section costs 4, and a roof costs 6. So the farther you go, the more it costs. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend 2 wood, and I'm going to build a wood floor. It's right there. So there's a couple rules about building. One thing is that you have to build it in order. You can't build the roof first. So what are you going to do with the roof? You're just going to leave it, it just doesn't work. You have to build them in order. Floor, then walls, then roof. The second rule is that you can start building as many house types as you want, but you can't have 2 wood houses being built at the same time. No, after one is built, you can start another wood house if you want to. And you can never have more than 5 buildings being built at once. So that was one of the actions. So another action is that you can draw a fable card. So that's the other action I'm going to do with this guy. So you draw it and you can look at it. So you add it to your hand and then you can use it at the beginning of the gather phase. I'll talk about that in the next gather phase. But they just have extra actions. This one is, at the end of the gather phase, all players in your location gain 2 resources of type produced at that location. So if right here, if everybody there would get 2 extra woods. So I just add that to my hand. So the next player, another action that you can take is that you can just draw 1 resource. So I'm going to take a brick. And then another action is a special action. Once per turn, you can do a friend's action, but we don't have any friends out right now, so I'll talk about that when that comes up. So he drew a brick, so now he has 2 bricks. So he's going to build a brick floor. There. And those were his 2 actions, so then we're going to move on over here. He has 2 bricks, so we have 3 bricks, so we're going to build another brick floor. And we have 1 left, and we're going to draw another brick. And right here, we're going to build a wood floor. And then we're going to draw another brick also. Another wood. Alright, so now everybody's going to take all their pigs back. This is the cleanup phase. So everybody takes their things back, and then you're going to add 1 mega resource or your resource market back in. So this stacks. So now we have 2 5s in the field. We have 4 in the forest, 3 at the brickyard, and then 1 more of each at the market. So now the fields, it's nicer there. There's more harvest there, but now if more people will want to go there, so then you'll have to share the resources. So then you pass the start player token, and then you begin the 3 phases all over again. So now there's a little difference now that we have fable cards. Now when you can pick your card first. We're going to pick this one, and then you can also add your fable card to your gather card. So we're all going to pick real quick where we're going to go. There. Alright, so we're going to play our fable card with it. So then, the next step is you reveal all of the fable cards. So then everybody gets to read the ability, which is all players in your location gain 2 resources of a type produced at that location. So we're going to place that up there, and then that's resolved at the end of the gather phase. So then everybody flips these over, which is the next step, and then everybody goes and gathers. So right here, blue and green split, purple gets all the woods, and then who gets that. So now it's the end of the gather phase, so now we're going to resolve this. All players in their location, which is just themselves, get 2 resources of the type produced there. And if this had been done at the market, it says of a type produced there, so you'd get to choose which 2. So now we're going to gather up all our fable card. The fable card is discarded since it was used, and then everybody's going to take all their gather cards and put it back in their hand. And then we're going to go around and do the build. So we have 6, so we're going to spend 2 to build a floor, and then we're going to build 4 more to build a wall. And there are more pieces over here. I have a bunch of them off camera. So he built a floor, and then he built a wall. So something special happens when you build a wall. Apparently walls attract friends. So he built a wall, so now he gets a friend. So he draws the top friend, and then he gets to look at it. So this is the fairy godmother. She has a magic wand, and the special action is gain 2 fable cards. And you can discard the fairy godmother during your turn to exchange 2 fable cards from your hand for 2 resources of your choice. So you gotta read it, and you can choose either to give it to yourself and take the benefit for yourself, or give it to somebody else. You might want to give it to yourself because you can only have 1 friend at a time. So if you draw one that isn't as good as the one you have to give it to somebody else. And in that case, they are forced to take that friend, and they have to get rid of the friend they currently have. So those were my 2 actions. And then we're going to go over here. So we're going to do close to the same thing. We're going to take well, first we're going to build the floor, which gives us 3 total. We're going to build a floor there, and then we're going to use an action to draw another wheat. And then that's their turn. And then over here, we are also going to build a wall, a wooden wall there. And then we get to choose a friend. So this is Cinderella, Magic Coach. After gather cards are revealed, move to your gather location and gain 2 of the resources before any other players move to the locations. You still gather as normal, so you get extra resources with Cinderella. She's really powerful. Alright, and then we're going to build a floor. Brick floor, and then we're going to draw a brick. Alright, so now it's a cleanup phase, so everybody's going to take our guys back. I'm going to put more resources out, and then we're going to fill back up again. So the market stacks, and these fill back up. So then you just keep doing this over and over. There's just a couple special things that happen every once in a while. So one of them is if you were the first person to complete a building of a type. So I finished this wood building. I get the first builder bonus, which I can choose to draw a friend card, draw 2 fable cards, or 1 of each resource. So those are pretty powerful also. And the goal of the game is to be the first person to build any 3 houses. So something about that is that since this game's played in rounds, what happens if multiple players build houses? So let's say I have these houses, and my friend over here has 2 brick houses and a straw house. So it's the player who has the most valuable houses. So this guy has 2 bricks, so he would win. If somebody had all 3 bricks, if in a tie, they would win. This die is only used in a 2-player game. It's used to take resources from the pool, so the 2 players don't get a whole bunch of resources. Alright, so let's take a look at some of these monsters. So these are super cool minis, but that's not what I meant. I meant the monster cards, how they're put in place. So I'm going to find some real quick. There's a dragon, and we've got a wolf, big bad wolf, and I'll just grab one more. There we go, the giant. Okay. So you're going to play these face down as fable cards, and then you reveal them. So and then you resolve them just like a normal fable card. So this is a wolf. Before collecting resources, if any player is caught by the wolf, destroy all resources at that location before anyone can collect them. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a location with the wolf, and then if anybody goes there, they don't get any of those resources. This other one is giant. At the end of the gather phase, all players at the giant's location must discard their friend, all fable cards from their hand, and 1 resource of each type. And then they all just do different things. Like there's a dragon that I had here, and then there's the bridge troll, big bad wolf, and the wolf. So all those monsters do different things, and they're used as offensive cards to block other players. And some other friends in here. So Cinderella's a really powerful one. Here's the 7 dwarves, secret tunnel. At the end of the gather phase, if you are alone at a location, you get 1 additional build phase action. So they just have a whole bunch of different actions that give you bonuses over the other players. So we've got Robin Hood and the Gingerbread Man, Sleeping Beauty, Tom Thumb, Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and these are just characters from the Grimm stories. Puss in Boots, the Golden Goose. So, that's how to play the Grimm Forest. Okay, I've got my dad here for parents' opinions. So, Dad, what do you think of the Grimm Forest?
The Grimm Forest is a gorgeous, gorgeous game. I really liked it.
So, the Grimm Forest has super awesome art all over it, and then you have the cool minis. So, let's go into the components. So, you have, I'm going to save the coolest thing for last. So, you have all the cards, and then you have the boards, all the, there's a whole bunch of the cardboard resource tokens, the mega ones and the normal ones. And then you have all of the house pieces, which are super cool.
I don't know what you're saving for last.
3 different pieces. Oh, all the minis.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you were talking about the trays. So there's game trays in the box. So all of this cool stuff fits in these little trays, which makes setup quick and easy and put away. There's a cool vacuum formed insert that has little spots for everything, even to the point where you can, push on the side of the cards and all the cards come out. So there's a lot of thought put into storage, I'll say.
All right, and then you have all the minis. So you have one distinctly different pig for each player. Super cool with different colored bases. And then you have 7 monsters.
I'll take your word for it.
You have 2 wolves, the dragon, the giant, the troll, and the big bad wolf. All right, that's 6. I might have missed one, but you have all the super cool monsters there.
Yeah, they did a really good job. This was on a Kickstarter, and it went nuts with stretch goals. And they just kept adding monster after monster after monster. Super cool minis, and I call them minis, although they're nothing mini about it. The dragon is huge.
Yeah. Probably good 3 to what? He's probably 4 or 5 inches tall.
Yeah,
he's big.
It's large.
Yeah,
and the box is huge.
The box. This is the size of the box compared to head.
Well, compared to like a Ticket to Ride size box, it is.
It's bigger.
Bigger.
Trust me. All right. So artwork. The artwork is awesome. The box art is super cool, and then distinct different artwork on all of the cards.
Yeah, so that's really what drew me to this Kickstarter in the first place. It's the artwork is done by Mr. Cuddington. It's a group, husband and wife, and they are awesome. They're one of my favorite artists. They also did Santorini, and they've done a couple other of the Roxley games. And so when I saw this, I was like, whoa, what is this? They were unlocking minis. They were also unlocking more character fable cards.
Just more work for the artists.
So there's tons and tons, like you said, of really good art in this game.
It's very cool. Nothing is half done on the art or components. So strategy. This is actually underneath all of the super cool stuff. There's a super awesome, simple game. I really like it. It's fun even without all the extra stuff. It's simultaneous action selection, so each person picks one of 4 things, and then you go there, and then you take the resources, and then you use the resources to build houses.
Yeah, one thing I like about this is that it plays very differently with 2, 3, and 4 players. So in a 2-player game, you randomly roll a die, and the prince or whoever it is, the non-NPC, goes to that player, or that location. So in I don't know, strategy wise, that is a very large element of luck. The game could be won or lost on a die roll. If you keep getting half your resources stolen by the die, that could not be fun.
What are the odds they got lost?
And then the 3-player game, you only have the 3 locations, and so you're kind of trying to second guess and outguess your opponent, see where they want to go. Which places do you want to go?
And the 4 players you're going to share, pretty much.
But there's the market.
Also true.
Which produces a little bit less of each, but you get more variety. And I think that is really cool.
Yeah. So that's strategy. Those are all the decisions. It's just that you're trying to, hey, I know you're going to like it, so I'm not going there.
Yeah, you could almost say that this is a social game. Trying to convince people to go certain places and to not go there. So when I looked it up on Board Game Geek under the type of game, it said take that. which I think putting the fable in cards and using the monsters, that's kind of a take that mechanism, because a lot of times
that's probably what it's for.
You reveal them and then you place them after, or you place them before.
You place them before. It's the first thing you do. Well, actually, you resolve it depending on what the card
I will say
monsters are before.
I will say the one thing I will ding the game on is that they have all these minis, and you rarely even use them.
I think I've used the dragon one.
Well, that's my point.
That's about it.
We make a big deal about, let's go mini, and we've used it once.
Yeah.
Because there's one card in a stack of cards that may or may not come out.
That's
a little small thing. I mean, it's still a great game, and the production is out.
And if nothing else, you can just set up all the minis and take a picture.
And you can paint them too.
Yeah, you can paint them.
But
spend hours.
That is my one
super
complaint.
Cool minis.
Is those minis rarely come out.
Yeah. You could stack the deck.
But it's easy for kids?
Yeah, it's easy for kids. Like I said, it is really more of a simple game with all these super cool side things that make it more interesting.
Yeah, and at its core, you just pick where you want to go, try to get resources, build houses.
Yeah.
There's reading.
I mean,
on the friends
you could
fables.
probably choose to play without those for a simple game.
Well, yeah, if you're playing with real little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably do that.
Like you said, there's reading, so if you don't want to read, goodbye. And at that point, you're playing with kids that can't read,
especially
so
on the friend cards, because the friend cards, you either keep it because it's good, or you give it to somebody else because theirs is better.
Mm-hmm. Man,
that's a little take that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can get rid of their friend. All right, so overall, I had a lot of fun with this game. I've played it. I've played it more times than you have because we played it at our game night at Cedar Village. Mm-hmm. A couple times.
Yeah, that one was always being played.
And it's an eye catcher. You see all the minis set up in the back, and they're like, ooh.
People requested it. They wanted to play it, so we brought it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's a solid game. Simple, easy mechanics, and I mean, it's just production quality is through the roof.
Yeah. So, The Grimm Forest by Druid City Games. Thank you for watching. Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian, and this is my dad. I'll see you next time.